And we're back with our round 6 feature match with Dave Grobert and his Cosmo Metal foe True Draco.
And I can't quite read the name here. Is it
Elias Dahlberg.
Elias Stahlberg with Paleozoic frogs.
Okay, so 2 decks that we didn't see so far.
Yes.
Could be quite interesting. I think we will go straight to the match.
Yes. Paleozoic. Still remember the deck from our last stream. It was pretty popular back then.
With, I think, Joshua Schmidt finishing
Yeah.
second and losing to Metal foe in the final.
Yeah, and now we have something similar to that as Joshua back then.
Exactly. Maybe to mention at this point is that for Dave Robert it will be his last tournament. A player which is quite known in the Yu-Gi-Oh community will, I think, quit playing after this tournament.
Okay.
So his farewell tournament doesn't
Let's-
look that bad so far.
So both are X0?
They're both X1.
X1, okay. Wow. I can already see like major back row removal on the Paleozoic deck. 9 back row removal cards in the main deck. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, we
That can be pretty helpful against the Cosmo variant with Metal Foes. I think it will be really good when he's able to get those cards.
Well, I think it will depend a little bit. The dice roll could make a lot in this
Yes.
matchup because the Metal Cosmo True Draco is still searching for a shorter version of the whole deck. Can make some huge fields when it's starting, and I think it's actually interesting because on the True Draco part has a great Paleozoic matchup.
Yes.
The Cosmos as well, because Dark Destroyer and Forerunner can't be targeted by the Paleozoic cards.
And they also don't have that many removal cards to get them off the field.
Exactly. However, the Metal foe part struggles a little bit. It has a little bit its difficulties against Paleozoic, so it will be kind of interesting.
So
And
Paleo starts first, and I think the most important part might be also that he's using a lot of engines in one deck. It might be hinder him himself. So how many Dracos is he playing actually? Like, is this a big engine or is it like a smaller one? I saw
think
some
just 2 masterpiece, like the normal were.
no trap, no spell even in the main deck of it.
He's playing 1 return and probably 1 heritage. Yeah. So the smallest engine around.
I think he set 2 spell and traps, and I think he wants to summon Masterpiece immediately.
Or giving his opponent like an information that he has masterpiece in hand. That's not a question if Elias is going to use. Yeah.
Yeah, he's using Olenoides on one of the back row. I think the bottom one is the heritage, and and now he is going to get blown out by it as well.
Well, the problem with that
It's a
is
solemn strike.
basically whatever he is going to destroy isn't that great, just because if he hits the heritage, it destroys spell trap. If he hits return, it destroys a monster. If he hits combination,
Then he gets a search.
exactly. So, however, it's still better than facing masterpiece at this point already immune by
I
trap
think
cards.
Elias shouldn't move his cards so much because he's already moved his cards from one zone to the other one, which is.
I think the table judge will interrupt at some point if there is an issue.
Yeah, because I am pretty sure the strike was in between those cards and they're like really close now together. Might matter sometimes if there's more column-based cards in the game.
And there's the Dogfighter. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Dogfighter, during each stamping phase you can special summon a token with 2000 attack and 2400 defense points.
I think it's the stats from himself, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And when it gets destroyed, it has the same effect as the other ships, so it can special summon a Cosmos from deck with a level 5 or lower in this case.
And now we see the second Olenoides on the already told Metal Force combination, which is also not that great for him.
And the good thing about Dogfighter is basically just like the body is too big for Toads. So in this case, he will have afterwards 2 months with 2400 defense points, and every turn he gets another one, which could be kind of hard to deal with for the Paleozoic player. Okay, so Elias is thinking what he is going to do.
He's debating his options how to get rid of the dogfighter, because otherwise he's going to get advantage after advantage after advantage each turn. Usually they have like Centaureas and out to bounce them back, which is not that useful sometimes because they can special summon them quite fast back, and he's a level 6. You can even tribute summon for 1. Let's see what he has in this extra deck. He's playing 1 Sky Cavalry, definitely.
But I think we will see a Pabina play, like going into a Pabina, searching Dynamoshus to banish the Dogfighter.
That's also one of the options, and also getting one of the traps back from the graveyard to maybe
That's
get more advantage.
if it's needed or not, but getting Dynamoshus is against this deck really good because you can get rid of Cosmotown without triggering it. The scales won't go to the extra deck. But maybe he tries to slowly gain an advantage now with the Toad.
Okay, so both are playing like a slower grind game now.
So now he's trying to special summon with Dogfighter or something.
I think turn player has priority to activate his Cosmo monster first, and
Exactly.
then Elias will be able to use his Toad if he wants to or not. So now we see Dupe Frog, presumably.
I think so because Dogfighter Aggro tokens can't get over Dupe Frog so far.
So they're both like a situation. He can't get over his cards, the other one can get over the other cards.
Exactly. But now I think Davian is in a great position because now he can use the Metal Foe scales to destroy the tokens, or even Dogfighter to get a Slip Rider to
Destroy
play
one.
against the back row, and getting a continuous trap card to summoning Masterpiece.
I think he's targeting with his Metal Foe scale his
Dogfighter.
His Dogfighter.
So exactly what we thought. So he's going to use Dogfighter, getting Slip Rider, getting rid of one of the back rows.
No response to the effect, the special summon. He can always use a Solemn Strike or something like that to stop it. So he's letting it through.
Thinking. I think he has a Solemn Warning face down. That's why he's thinking about it.
Then he should use it now.
Not sure. I mean, he still can go with the chance that Slip Rider won't hit this Solemn Warning if
That's
it's
true.
there, and like this he has the possibility to out the Masterpiece because otherwise he will struggle a lot against Masterpiece. Sorry.
So he's chaining Dimensional Barrier. What is he gonna call here now?
Well, it's kind of difficult.
He has no
because-
fusions, Xyz.
Well, known with the information that he has, I think I would go actually with Pendulum or Fusion because you know that Metal Foes can summon Mithrilium or Alcaster
He
stuff like
tribute
that.
summons directly for Masterpiece.
And now I think Elias is in a quite difficult spot to get rid of the Masterpiece again because it's unaffected by monster and trap cards.
So he does not have the warning to stop the normal summon, then I think.
Does he play any spell cards to get rid of Masterpiece at this point?
No, there's no spells he can get rid of. He has no monsters except for the extra deck No, no. There's like literally like nothing he could have. He has triple Cosmic Cyclone and triple Pot of Desires in the main deck as spells. He has like a lot of back row removal, but no monster removal at all. So I think he's now in a really difficult spot.
So he activates another scale. Not sure what Elias called. Probably not Pendulum.
It's either Fusions or Pendulum, but if it's Pendulum, then he won't be able to Pendulum summon anything from his hand.
Okay, so he called Pendulum.
Yes, because he's Pendulum summoning a Dogfighter. Yeah, it only counts for Pendulum monsters. Cosmo Dogfighter is not a Pendulum monster. So he can still Pendulum summon them. Which is quite interesting, seeing Pendulum summons going on in Cosmos. Huge ships getting Pendulum summoned.
I mean, okay, so he's destroying the Dogfighter with Bismugear, getting the fusion.
To get another Slip Rider, presumably to get rid of the last back row, and then he can even go for maybe an Infinity if he wants to.
Well, it's still kind of risky, like he can still negate it with Toad.
That's true. So he changed the Morella, so...
Yeah, but I think there's no way how he could get back into the game at this point. I think he just tried to survive. I mean, as you said, he doesn't play the Mines or something like that, so...
No, he's only playing
he
as a
will
draw
be
card Pot of Desires.
At 2 till 3 cards next turn, maximum. Which isn't that great against Infinity Masterpiece or something like that.
You know, he's playing board wipes in the side deck and some other nifty cards, which we will go into detail when we are during the side deck process. So now he's going with all monsters into attack mode. I think he will just kill the Toad, just attack over it, and then maybe Memphis 2 go for an Infinity if he wants to.
I think it makes actually sense, yeah.
He gets more stall, more negations and interruptions with an Infinity plus a Masterpiece is pretty good.
And especially he has like 3 continuous spell trap cards in the graveyard, so even in the long term there's no way for Elias to getting back into this game.
So he's recycling the Dupe Frog to have some...
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So maybe he can go actually for game at this
Ah, yeah,
point.
he can destroy his own ships with Masterpiece.
So
if he
let's
wants
play
to.
Farm Girl. Yeah, there's one Farm Girl.
And there she comes.
So
when he goes for Dark Destroyer, I think it should be enough.
So Dark Destroyer gets special summoned.
Destroying the other Slip Rider.
Destroying Slip Rider, getting a Sword Troops. Think he's like 1,700 life points short. Because he's, yeah.
Which Cosmos does he play? What are the all level 5 and below? Below
Just
than 5.
Tin Can, Strawman, Sword Troops, and Farm Girl.
Okay, they're all not strong enough to get the last damage in. Any rank 8s he can do afterwards? That would be too funny.
Well, I think there's nothing particular which would be better than a Masterpiece at this point.
Yes. Only if we had a Gustav Max for rank 8s for burning like several thousands, that would be great.
Okay, so I'm actually not that sure if I like this play, to be honest, now, as he won't go for game at this point. Because it takes away the chance to go into Infinity, which
would have been the better lockdown count together. With Masterpiece, he would have only feared to 1 card.
Yeah. I mean, he still can go now into, I think... Is it Alcast? Which he can go into?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arceus can also absorb one of his monsters, which
Um,
is kind of like removing, destroying, and he gets a free draw.
yeah, so basically now he has 3 negations. It's alright. With the Dark Destroyer to destroy a monster, Alcast who could take 1 monster, and yeah, the other effect of Masterpiece, yeah, to destroy another card.
And we know his 2 hand cards are Swap Frog and Dupe Frog, so only the 3rd card matters somehow. But
Okay,
he drew again the Metal Force Fusion with Metal Force Fusion, I think.
I think it's a set rotation actually.
Is it?
Yeah, so he's not sure if he wants to use it, probably just setting it face down.
Ah, yeah, it's a set rotation. You're right. What could he do now? What can
I mean, I'm not sure if I want to give my opponent the additional information
Yeah.
that I'm also playing in set rotation, because at this point I really can't see a real way for LES to getting back into the game. Okay, what kind of trap card was it that he drew?
what is it? The barrier that he has in his hand?
Another one? No.
N-
It's a heavy duster.
It's the Heavy Duster. Yeah, he's playing 3 of them, 3 Olinoides and 3 Cosmic Cyclones, so like 9 back row removal cards, which would be good when he had like several Cosmic Cyclones for his first turn.
Okay, so I think he lets Swap Frog send something in the graveyard and then use Alcast effect to take the Swap Frog, and that should be actually the game afterwards.
He would have 1
Yeah.
Ronin Totem in the graveyard, and
Nothing
that's
he could do, yeah.
no. He has to scoop here.
So that's it. So Dave Grobert takes the first game with his Metalfoe Cosmo Draco. Well, what did we see? I think Elias started actually pretty good with his Dupe Frog, set 4.
He was
Or
just missing
was
like another
set
advantage
Ronin
card, like
Toad, yeah.
Pot of Desires or something like that, to get more advantage, more resources. That was the only thing missing, I think.
But I mean, you can't complain. It's what Paleozoic is doing, setting
Yeah.
monster to back row and getting slowly into the game. However, the Cosmo and Draco part messed with the whole thing.
Yes, he opened quite good. Even like all the Olinoides were like backfiring on both sets, and I think there was too much monsters to get around for Paleozoic. But in the side deck we have some interesting cards. Maybe we will see them side decked. We have Chaos Trap Hole, which should be great against most of the monsters except for the Metal Foes, which are fires. We have triple Cephion, which might be interesting. For going second, to make this, to shuffle back all the spell and traps. Triple Mistake, 1 warning. That might be great for going first. Triple Gameciel, of course, to remove those masterpieces. A breakthrough skill, and presumably the Raigeki will go inside as well, just to have an extra out for masterpiece when he's unaffected by monsters and traps. Because usually this is the way how you summon it against Paleo, because usually they don't have that much mass removal.
I'm actually asking myself, with this side deck, if he maybe chooses to go second even.
Yeah, I'm also
Not
thinking.
something like that is usual for Paleozoic, but with his answers to the field of the Cosmo Draco Metal Foe, with Raigeki, Gameciel and stuff like that, could imagine it, but would still be surprising.
What
I
does Dave in his side deck?
For his side deck, he's playing Saphion, which will come in for sure. A Shadow Dragon, which I also could see getting in because you can destroy it like with Diagram, and something that your opponent isn't expecting.
Is he also playing some cards which can send him directly to the graveyard from the deck in his main deck? I don't think
so. It's just, well, he's also playing Allure, so it's not that much of a death draw if he
Yeah.
doesn't have the Diagram. Raigeki probably not. Monarch Stormforth, not sure about that. Storm, however,
Storm might be a good choice.
especially as it's non-targeting, removal and triggering all your continuous spawn trap cards is never bad. Order can't see it. Barriers also not that sure. Full Force Virus Also not really. So probably just the Saphion with Storm, and maybe Shuttle Dragon. Yeah, but I'm curious. I mean, if Elias is letting Dave starting, he's also siding quite wrongly for this matchup. So with Saphions aren't that great going first. Shuttle Dragon as well,
Yeah.
and also the Storm. Like maybe he
There might be
tries
some.
to get the opportunity to give Dave a hand that isn't that playable as his
Yeah.
first one.
There's a huge brick potential for Dave to start with cards which don't do anything, so that he has to pass his turn. Let's see how the choice will be here now. Who's going first? So we see the desires and the. Oh, I think he's going to go first. When I see already the Chaos Trap Hole, I think
Yeah.
this is a sign that he wants to start. And this time he has the Pot of Desires.
Not that sure if I'm a huge fan of Chaos Trap Hole. I mean, clear, it's an auto masterpiece, but with all these diagrams, he can just like destroy his Cosmo ships, getting Slip Riders, destroying the back row, and you can never use it effectively there at some point. But we will see.
He shows like all the cards once into the camera almost. So he has a Swap Rock as well, and what is the other one? Is it
5 traps, I guess.
5? I think it was a. What is? No, I don't think that he's playing Storming Mirror Forces. No, he's playing 2 of them. I think it was a Storming Mirror Force I saw there.
So he banished 4 monsters with Pot of Desires.
Setting 5.
Okay, that's interesting.
Not normal summoning the Swap Rock. He has no targets left. Or what?
I think he banished 4 monsters, not more.
He's playing 8 monsters in the main deck, so that would be like 2 left, maybe? When he sided out some of them, then it will be even less.
Could be quite crucial.
Yeah, when he has no monsters, then he has to completely rely on his Paleozoic engine to do anything.
Okay, so there's the scale.
Let's see if we're gonna see here something like a heavy Storm Duster, some back removal cards in general.
I mean, at this point, a Chaos Trap Hole could be huge, because a Pendulum Summon would be a summon that could be negated by Chaos Trap Hole.
Chaos Trap Hole can also negate Pendulum Summons, like multiple monsters at the same time it can negate.
Exactly. So let's see. Okay.
Wait, he will definitely do that because both are light and dark, so he can just immediately stop the entire play.
Could already be game at this point, because he's still throwing in kind of a lot.
Yeah, this is gonna be huge, banishing both of them.
So he has Terraforming and Masterpiece left,
Uh-huh.
so it's still playable.
He can still, when he wants to search the Cosmotown, he can get back the Slip Rider, which I don't recommend.
I think what he's going to do is using the Terraforming to getting a diagram. Okay,
No,
interesting.
he's actually trying to get his Slip Rider back, I think.
Oh, okay, I see. So he's getting back the Slip Rider, destroying the town with one of the Metalfoe scales.
Yeah, and then
And
getting the search out of it.
Searching a small Cosmo monster. Probably to have the option with Slip Rider in hand. Yeah. I mean, what I like is that the Heavy Duster isn't that great against Beastmagear, for example, because you can still search in the end phase Metalfoe monster.
It depends what he has for kind of back row removal. If he has a Cosmic Cyclone, then he won't get anything.
Okay, so what do we know of the back row of Elias?
I know one Storming Mirror Force I think I saw. Pretty sure it was one.
So at this point, I probably would go with Farm Girl to force Elias to do something against it. Just because if Farm Girl resolves, he's getting Dark Destroyer, and Dark Destroyer is really tough for Paleozoic to get over. especially as I wouldn't assume a second cost trap hole there, just because of the odds that he's opening 2 of them. Okay, so he's searching another Cosmo Town.
Okay. So he wants to shuffle?
No, I think he's going to use the other scale effect to destroy Cosmo Town, getting the second combination, and then tribute summoning Masterpiece, tributing 2 traps. That's what I would see at this point. And yeah, but let's see what he's going to do. So yeah, okay, he's shuffling back.
Yeah. So
Not sure if I'm.
yeah, now he's
mean,
making
it's
a gamble out
alright.
of it, kind of.
Well, he still can destroy with the Metal Foe the town to getting the second combination and the search of Cosmo Town, depending of what he's drawing.
Does he has the metal? Does he has the masterpiece in his hand?
Oh, yeah.
So he can tribute summon it if he wants to, instead of using the Cosmo engine to get going.
Exactly. I mean, that's something cool about the deck. Like, if one way isn't working, you still have another
Yeah.
possibility.
So it all depends on the back row his opponent has to maybe combat the masterpiece.
But still, really interesting that Elias can't interact at all, or maybe I'm not sure what the back row should be. Okay,
now he's destroying the scales, which is kind of late.
I think it's alright, because you don't want to use it on Bismugear just because Bismugear is
no,
such
no,
a-
that's right. I thought he did it after the resolution, but
No.
when he's doing before, it is way smarter.
So the question is now the second card. Is it another terraforming that he drew?
I don't know. It's masterpiece plus something. Is it? Is it? It's a terraforming, yes. So I think he does not want to risk getting it again up Urbiniad, or what?
So
I
I could
think-
imagine that he tries to play with his opponent, like
Yeah, setting it and then maybe trying to bluff again,
second, continuous spell trap.
so that he thinks
trap
there's
card.
going another masterpiece down. Interesting part is I think I saw the bottom card of Elias. I think it's another Olenoides. I'm not quite sure. If just saw it for a brief second.
Okay, so Dave just passed. Now he has a Forerunner in hand, which he's probably going to shuffle back. Or he could use like Bismugear on the Cosmo Town.
And get
Um,
another pilot. Yeah.
Getting the pilot, getting the second trap, and having the terraforming for Diagram to destroy the Forerunner, getting Slip Rider and stuff like that. So, I'm not sure. I think, yeah, the pilot would be correct, because if otherwise Elias could interrupt the Diagram, he's just on his lonely masterpiece that is just unaffected by traps, which is okay, but not that great.
Does Dave play completely 60 card deck here?
I think so, yeah.
It looks interesting to see another 60 card deck without grass. We already saw them back in the day with Zodiac doing it, because it was still consistent. Combined with Cosmos, Metal Force still work this way as always.
Okay, so with Darkfire, okay, I see what he's trying to do probably now. I think he's going to tribute summon the masterpiece over the 2 traps.
Yeah.
Getting 2 additional scales.
So does he has another Chaos Trap hole? Or Warning? Yes, he has another one. Wow.
But I think now it's getting really difficult for Elias at this point, because with 2 other scales and the Diagram, I think he's going to search a scale 1 and scale 8 monster. Then using the Diagram, then Elias has to interrupt it, otherwise Slip Rider and his friends are going to start making a party with the back row of Elias. And if he has to interrupt the diagram, he can still like pendulum summoning everything from his hand because they're all between 2 and 7, the monsters there. Okay, so, okay, no interruption to diagram. Interesting.
As I said, I think one of the cards is a battle phase trap like Storming
Storming
Mirror
Mirror
Force, which
Force.
he's playing in the main deck already. The other one, I don't know, maybe a third one? A third Chaos Travel, that would be too much, maybe.
Could help him to win the game, depending now what the Slipwire is destroying.
I'm just not quite sure if he has the resources to win the game. I think he banished a lot of crucial parts with his first part of Desires.
Would be interesting to see the exact cards. Also probably something we could ask him after the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
So now he's what chaining?
the Canada.
To book it. So
exactly.
I think the scales have to target face-up cards to destroy them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So he's summoning back the Pulselic from the graveyard, and if it's really Storming Mirror Force, he's still in kind of okay-ish spot.
Yeah. When both monsters survive this turn, then he's finally able to get his deck a little bit rolling.
But I think what Dave is now going to do is activating the Heritage, exactly,
And
activating the Scale, and destroy Heritage to
destroy the back row.
Storming Mirror Force.
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
It should be.
Elias is in a pretty bad spot as he doesn't have like any cards left. Probably getting the fusion at this point. So he has Wallframe and Forerunner in hand with the Gold Driver in extra deck.
Searching, thinking about the Metal Force fusion here.
And there's the Storming Mirror Force. And so now he's going to Pendulum Summoning Gold Drivers, Forerunner, and not sure if I think there's
I think he.
Forerunner is okay, yeah, to summon at this point.
He's. Elias cannot believe it.
I
Like, no.
think he's questioning if he could go for game, which 4000 should be 160. That should be possible. So he's going to use Fusion on Mithrilium, using Mithrilium effect to bounce back the face down monster, and Forerunner and Mithrilium together, they have like 5400 attack points over Olanidas, should be enough. But not sure if Dave is seeing this play. Okay.
He's immediately going into the battle phase. Odd.
That's interesting. Well, he still have game if he's going to attack with Gold Driver the face down monster and it's not a Dupe Frog or a Ronin Toad.
I think it's a
doesn't make
Swap
any
Frog?
sense.
I don't know.
Well, he wouldn't set a Swap
Yeah.
Frog, I guess. So, not sure if I like this play. Well, something we could ask him afterwards. He
Yeah, it
really
was.
set down
Yeah,
with Swap
yeah,
Frog?
he did. He never summoned it, although he had it in his starting hand. So I think he has no frogs left in his entire deck to use it with anything. So it's kind of sad to see that.
It's really weird, yeah.
Usually, swap frog is like when you're setting it, it's like it's over.
So he's now probably using he draws a card from the fusion, then using probably Mithrilium to bounce back the diagram. And using the diagram effect. Well,
Does he
it
has any
has-
targets left?
Yes,
Yeah, he has
the
all of them.
combinations, yeah.
No, I mean,
You mean for Elias or?
no, I mean targets for Diagram. Does he have anything to search?
I think he plays
except for the
two masterpieces, so at least one more, and the return he also has a possibility. It's probably Strawman or Tinkan.
He has finished like four Cosmo monsters already, so he has all the choices. No, 3 monsters and 1 Baobabun, I think. No, 2. Two and 1 masterpiece and a Baobabun.
So he goes to the end phase, getting probably Tinkan, using its effect.
Revealing an Eclipser,
pretty good.
which is really good against this deck.
Dogfighter and probably Dark Destroyer.
Yeah. So all 3 options are not great for ideas. I don't know what can he top deck here now, with 1 card in hand.
6 and that's the Dark Destroyer. Not sure. I mean, he has the introduction of Dark Destroyer, and so even back row is like.
Even mass removal doesn't help. He has so many floating cards that won't help. He has another Swap Frog in his hand, I think. Yeah. And it's a Mirella, I think.
Yeah, so this game should be over.
There's nothing he can do. Yeah, just he's scooping now.
Okay, so Dave Grover takes it with a 2-0 win with his Metal Folk Cosmo Draco deck.
Interesting to see 60 card decks back again.
Exactly, especially without grass. But I think this deck, it's one of the few decks where I like to play 60 cards, even though you're not playing grass, just because you have so many weird combination of cards, and like this you're decreasing the chance to have too many of one of the 3 ways of playing. So yeah, what else to say about this round?
We didn't see that much action from the Paleo player. I think he just was under the control of the Cosmo monsters, which were destroying his back row, and the spell and traps by the 2 Draco player, where he couldn't get around them.
I mean, what we saw from the Paleozoic player was exactly what we